Hello, Revere, and welcome to the Revere Veterans and Community Show. I have my host here, Marc Silvestri, who's head of the Revere Veterans Service. Welcome, Marc. And I'm your host, Morris. But, Marc, first of all, let me say, I always say it, but I've got to do it all the time. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Morris.
Okay, we have a load of questions here, and we're going to start off first, which is important, housing for veterans, for homeless veterans.
Very important. On the state and federal level, we've had, the Housing Act 1 and 2 that just passed. There's a Housing First initiative going on with the VA, but as we know, Morris, it's not a cure-all. There are still some issues out there, and I was actually lucky enough last week to go to the Speaker's office, and I met with Speaker DeLeo, Michael and Sarah Sweeney, who Mike Sweeney is the Veteran Service Officer of Lynn. His wife runs a 501c, and they've been recognized in Lynn as overcoming veteran homelessness. And the speaker got us together, and we're going to go up next week, and they're going to break down that plan for me, and we're going to try to bring it here to the city of Revere.
Could you more elaborate on it, just a little bit more? Okay,
so what Lynn has done, I'll give you that for an example, is they've teamed up with not only their housing authority, but with HUD-VASH, which is the equivalent to a veteran Section 8. What they do is through all the different organizations, nonprofits, federal housing, VA, Chapter 115, the Veterans Office, other organizations, Volunteers of America, stuff like that. They've come together and they all put they're all at the table actually, and they speak on behalf of the veterans' cases. So, for instance, your case would be Morris. And
question on that one.
Yes.
Is this veterans only, or veterans and their family as well?
Oh no, this is veterans' family, but it needs to be immediate, like a veteran with children and a spouse. It doesn't extend to if a veteran's child needed it and they had their own family, no, they wouldn't be eligible.
So it's, okay, so it's veterans and their families if they need it immediately.
Correct.
Okay.
And actually, there's, I mentioned the Volunteers of America.
Yep.
They're actually a great resource as well, Morris. They will help low-income and no-income veterans if they're in jeopardy of losing a home or need help finding a home. Volunteers of America is a great program. They'll work one-on-one with the veteran. They assist with first and last. They assist with moving cost. It's unbelievable.
And what is that organization?
Volunteers of America. But if they contact myself, I can give them that number directly. But the Volunteers of America number is 617-285-3270.
Right. Can you give them two more important numbers, Marc?
They sure can.
Your number at the Revere Veterans, and can they use your email if they need to?
Absolutely.
Dish it out.
781-286-8119 is the number to Veteran Services. And my email address is msilvestri, SILVESTRI, @revere.org.
Now I got another question on the same subject. A veteran is married, right? But he goes off to, let's say, Afghanistan for the second phase, and he gets killed. Does the spouse have the same right as he did if he were alive?
Absolutely.
So if a spouse...
a veteran that's killed in action, their spouses carry their benefit straight through. And there's many other, of course, they would receive a Purple Heart at that point, so there's the Order of the Purple Heart that would help them. There's a ton of veterans resources out there.
I know you're going to laugh at me at this one. Does a private get the same benefits like on this veterans housing as, let's say, a general? I mean, there would be no difference between...
There would be no difference. The only difference, Morris, really would be a general usually comes out with a pension, where a private usually comes out with no benefit at all.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, I just want to branch up to one thing. Since you mentioned a private comes out with no benefits at all, I thought that President Trump on August the 16th passed the law called the bill, which I wrote down here. I just want to make sure I got it right.
Forever GI Bill.
The forever by the what they call, but Trump called it the Harry W. Comery on August the 16th.
Yes.
Okay.
Harry Comery was actually the originator of the original GI Bill.
Oh.
So that's why they're going to name that after him, and it's also known as the Forever GI Bill.
Right now.
Which actually, there was a group of veterans, Purple Heart recipients.
Do you have to be a Purple Heart?
No.
Okay.
No, but actually now it extends all Purple Heart recipients receive it, because at one point there was a time if you were only in for a short period of time and you didn't get your qualifying time for your GI Bill, even though you were a Purple Heart recipient and medically retired from the service, you weren't eligible for your GI Bill.
Right, now I got a question for you.
So now all Purple Heart recipients will automatically be eligible for the GI Bill no matter their length of service, and also will last forever.
And is that from World War II or just the last 13 or 16 or 15 years?
It's veterans going forward, and also if you have been out of service from 2013 and after.
So it's only 4 years ago.
Correct, is where we'll go back to.
So in other words, Korean, World War II, Vietnam would not be applicable for it.
From what I understand, I don't believe it will, Morris.
Okay. So it's like the Gulf Wars or the Afghan Wars or the wars now.
Correct.
Very good. Thank you.
Correct.
Because
And honestly, I thank you gentlemen that came before us and women, because it's you really paved the way and got us everything, you know, by the mistakes they made in the past of not giving benefits to veterans and service members. It seems they're making it up with the veterans of today. And
question for you on this one. Something pro and cons on this. So before we get into the overseas bonus, when I got discharged from the service in 48, the state of New York, where I lived at the time, gave us a $300 bonus. Now, they're also giving bonuses, but I'm not clear on that, and neither some others, that people who have never received a bonus are now applicable to get one?
Well, here, I actually brought this in,
Oh, you got that?
Morris, and it actually breaks it down for us perfectly.
Beautiful.
It's known as the Welcome Home Bonus. A lot of the veterans that I speak to, most of them have received their Welcome Home Bonus. A Welcome Home Bonus is active reserve or guard discharged service members honorably from service of September 11th, 2001 to present. That group of soldiers, if they've deployed overseas, Afghanistan, Iraq, combat zone outside of the United States, they are eligible for $1,000. If they did 6 months inside the United States supporting any of those, they are eligible for a $500 bonus on a welcome home. Vietnam era. The Vietnam bonus is for 6 months. You needed to serve from July 1, 1958 through May 17, 1975. If you were in country in Vietnam and served...
Excuse me, you said from 1958 to 1975, but any specific length of time?
6 months.
6 months.
You needed 6 months of service, and if you were in country in Vietnam, you would receive $300 for your bonus, and if you did service supporting other than in Vietnam, you could receive $250. Going to the Korean War. The Korean War service is between June 25th, 1950 and January 31st, 1955. Okay? For overseas service is a $300 bonus. For service of 6 months within the United States during Korean service would be $200. $100 is 90 days of service within the United States. World War II bonus. Gentlemen like yourselves.
I'm all ears.
It runs between September 16th, 1940
Yep.
and July 25th, 1947. And if you served overseas or a merchant marine, you received $300.
You know, it's funny, you mentioned, repeat those dates for me again just one more time.
Sure will. September 16th, 1940
Right.
and July 25th, 1947.
Just made it. Now, that was, let's see, I've been out of the service 46, almost 71 years.
Right.
Can I apply for seconds?
Did you get the first one?
Yep.
No, Morris, this isn't an all-you-can-eat buffet, my friend. I'm sorry.
No
One-time
problem.
shot deal at those.
No, let me tell you, they were good to me. They gave me the GI Bill, and they gave me the bonus too when I got out.
Yes. I feel as though the VA is taking great care of
Right,
me
and
other
let me tell you,
veterans I know.
people don't realize that we don't even talk about the hospitals that the VA supplies, but if you're a veteran and you need a cane, a wheelchair, or anything, just get a hold of the VA, and if you qualify, you know, according to your injuries, if you're Purple Heart, 100%, 80%, they'll take good care of you.
Absolutely. And actually, Morris, since the last time I've been on your show, I took over a wheelchair program from Jerry McGuire, who is the Acton Box Borough Veteran Service Officer. And Jerry's VSO that is always getting involved, and he's involved in every aspect of veteran services you can ask for.
Can I
Amazing man.
I can speak on that personally. You know,
Yeah.
I cannot stand up long. So when I would go in the bathroom and shave like I did this morning,
Right.
I would have to drag a chair in
Chair.
and sit on it, shave. When I mentioned that to the VA, they told me to come down, and they would give me a walker with a chair right on it,
Yeah.
with the wheel. I went down there to Jamaica Plain. They check you out. They make sure they give you the right walker. And I got one at home. And now I can roll myself over, which I do in the house.
Excellent.
And shave myself, too.
Well, the program I took over, Morris, is actually electronic wheelchairs and scooters. Currently, we have 5 available. So if you're a veteran in need of mobility, walking issues.
Excuse me, Mark. Is this for outside, those scooters?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No, I
Outside,
don't-
inside. They work both indoors and out. You know, and it's great. Since the program started itself, we have been able to give over 100 veterans the gift of mobility in the state. And it's statewide, Morris. We refuse nobody. If you, there are people that fall in between, like they make a little too much to qualify for one, but they don't make enough to be able to afford one. That's where we can step in and facilitate and get veterans a wheelchair.
And you can also give them walkers and everything else if they need that?
To call down the office, currently I have a bunch of walkers. I have a few like you were speaking of with the seat on it.
Yeah.
I have wheelchairs, and I'm constantly getting calls for people to donate. And as long as you come in and you are in need of the device you're asking, we can facilitate that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, another question, because we're here to help the veterans, especially you. A lot of the veterans sometimes need clothing, and they come to you. Could you tell us what kind of clothing is good for the vets, and whether it has to be new or used or cleaned or washed?
Well, we always like it to be clean and washed, and we like it to be in wearable condition, Morris. But if you have clothes that you would like to donate to veterans, we're always willing to accept clothes. We reach out to the shelters, we reach out to Court Street, we reach out to Northeast veterans, and we get their clothes out to who they need to be.
Years ago, I
dropped
used to
off
work in Boston, Mark, and I used to get off at Government Center, and Court Street is right there. I would see a lot of veterans outside of the court, in the wintertime, sleeping on the grating to keep warm. How come they would never go in, or they wouldn't let them in? Because
If it's in the winter, the shelters have an abundance of vets that need shelter.
You're right, but if you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, they will not accept you?
Nope, that's not true. As long as you're willing to get into some type of substance abuse program or recovery, they will not let you actively use inside the location. So you cannot be actively drinking or actively using substances. As long as you're trying to get into recovery, they will let you in the shelter. But sometimes the shelters are full, and in the winter time, that's when we have the biggest issue with the shelters becoming full, because let's face it, it's a lot easier to sleep outside when it's 90 degrees out than when it's snow.
Right. I used to see them in the subway down on well, it's Government Center. It used to be called Scully Square at one time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, now I want to talk to you about, let's see, I wrote down something else here. There's a program called the Yellow, before we go into that, you started something which I think is terrific, and it's called the Coffee Hour.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes, actually, we're having a coffee hour this Friday, Morris, August 25th. It's going to be at Legion Hall, 249 Broadway, Revere. It's 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. We actually have a speaker coming in from Cambridge Health Alliance. She's going to speak about elder veteran services, and also she's going to speak on the PACE program. I actually have another surprise guest coming in, actually my mentor, Alicia Redding. She's the director of all Melrose, Wakefield, and Saugus, and she taught me the ropes of this job. And when I interned in her office for a year and a half, she really brought me a long way to understanding what goes into the veteran service job, and she's coming to speak about veteran service claims and disability claims. So if you're a veteran and you're thinking about starting a VA claim, or you're interested in hearing about claims, or an elder veteran, or you may have an elder parent, stop in. It's Legion Hall, 249 Broadway, 9:30 to 11:30, August 25th. It's Friday. Light refreshments, coffee, muffins, donuts we'll have, and it's a great opportunity just to get around other veterans, Morris. And,
so it's only for veterans?
It's for veterans, but if you're a family member of a veteran and maybe you need to find out information and you have a veteran that can't make it, we're more than happy to.
So anyone is really welcome?
Absolutely.
Oh, maybe you'll have a full house?
Hopefully we do, Morris. And I'll tell you, we have two $25 gift cards that we're going to give out. The 20th veteran to walk in the door, they're going to be the first winner. And at the end of the presentations, we're going to have a military trivia question. So whoever gets the answer to the military trivia question will get the other one.
Okay, then do me a favor, after number 19, right?
Call you up?
Call me right up. I'll be waiting outside. I thought, maybe it would be fair to have them put their names on a little piece of paper, throw it in a bag,
and shake it up.
Shake it up, and have one pick
maybe we could.
Maybe
we could. I figured if I gave a number for that one to walk in the door, we at least know we're getting 20.
Right. No, that's pretty good.
No, but it's great, Morris. It's a good opportunity for vets to get together and just really talk and share stories, and really, it's awesome.
Now, let me say, you're having it on Friday, the last Friday of this month, but it's not always going to be on a Friday. So what they have to do is look at Revere TV.
Revere TV. They could, if they're on social media, they can join our Facebook page. It's City of Revere Veteran Services Facebook page. And following that, I keep that up to date on all our events. Right. Everything we're doing in the city gets updated on that. So it gets shared out quite a bit on social media. But if you don't, and you're not on social media, it will be on Revere TV. It gets put in both the Advocate and the Journal.
Good.
So we have some good advertisement on it.
But
it will actually, Morris, will always be on a Friday. It just may not always be on the last Friday.
Okay, but it will always be on a Friday.
It will always be on a Friday.
So they have to watch the Revere newsreel.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Okay. Now there was another program which is something brand new, which I happened to see on the computer, and I have no idea, called the Yellow Ribbon Program.
Right.
Could you expand a little on that?
The
That
Yellow-
has to do with films and things?
No, the Yellow Ribbon Program, it's another, it's like a vocational rehabilitation and work program that they offer services for veterans to the VA. They run a various, like they have the Yellow Ribbon Program, they have the Helmets to Hard Hats program, they have the teacher program. If you sign on to be a teacher and you sign on to do 3 years in an urban city school, they give an extra bonus. So there's a plethora of programs out there that are actually really good that VA offers for veterans to get involved with.
Okay, I've been asked some questions, and there are some questions right on here.
Mm-hmm.
The new bill that President Truman, I'm President Truman.
Trump.
I'm thinking about my time, President Trump.
Yes.
Well, they both start out with TIU when you think of
Right.
it. Trump and Truman, TIU. Okay, President Trump, that new bill that he put out for a veteran that does not have to travel, like, let's say, myself. I have to go to Brockton or West Roxbury for treatment. He wants to make it that I could go to
Wherever you want.
Right.
Yes.
Is there? But do you have to live a certain mileage away, or it don't make any
No,
difference?
veterans' choice. It's
And
going to give the veterans choice of where they're seen.
And
Private.
who okays that?
Right. Well, it's there right now. They're trying to work out the quirks on that. Is whether it's going to be a voucher, whether it's going to be a direct pay type system. I'm sure there's going to be some way that the VA is going to have to prior approve the appointment. I'm not sure on the specifics because it's just not enough put out yet on it. But I know that what Trump is trying to do is give all veterans the choice of who they're seen by with doctors, and that will cut down on wait lists, wait times.
Not only that, but take a look. If you're 100% disabled, they have to send either an ambulance to you or a private vehicle to take you, let's say, from point A to point B. Point B in some cases 40, 50, 60 miles away.
Correct.
But if you can go like from here to Mass General, let's say Revere.
Right.
I mean, think of the money that the VA would really save
Absolutely.
with the transportation alone.
Absolutely. And it gives like you said, we're blessed here in our location.
I know that. I know.
We have so many VAs within a 50-mile radius.
Right, we got one on Causeway Street.
Causeway Street,
Jamaica
we got
Plain,
Jamaica Plain,
West
West
Roxbury,
Roxbury,
and Brockton.
Bedford, Brockton. We even have the Lynn Seabock now.
Oh,
it's a smaller. It's not full service VA, but they do primary care. They do mental health services. That's the Lynn Seabock.
Yep.
And it's right in Lynn, Mass. It's actually a great thing for Revere veterans.
What I would like you to expand one more time for the people who are listening, including myself, the Volunteers for Veterans.
Volunteers of America.
What is the exact title?
Volunteers of America.
Right.
And they're supporting veterans and families. They give case management to low-income or no-income veterans.
And that's the Volunteers of America.
Volunteers of America.
And
So an example would be, Morris, if you're a veteran and you're in jeopardy of losing your apartment or your home, Volunteers of America can step in and give you some assistance with that.
And they have a number too?
They do. And there was, we actually gave it out, 617-285-3270.
617-285-3770.
3270. Or they can be reached at veteran@voamass.org.
You know, I learned, thanks to the Revere TV, I learned how to do the Facebook and a lot of other things, as you know.
Yes.
I also learned how to screw up a lot of other things, that you know. But anyway, I think that would be to put on Facebook for the veterans to have a special. I see you, Marc Silvestri, on the chat line,
Right.
and I see you at 5 o'clock in the morning too, by the way. So you don't sleep at all.
Well, I do sleep, but you know, when you get up
I
early,
see you at 5 o'clock in the morning.
that's when we wake up. My wife gets up a little earlier than I do, and then I get up, check my emails. I know social media posts. I
Yep.
know when everyone else is waking up, 7:30, 8 a.m. is the
You're all
best time
set
to
to
get
go.
it out. So when they wake up, boom, my posts are on mine are on and up. So it's a start of my day. I get a run in before I get to work, and hit the day running, I guess.
Okay, Mark, we got 2.5 minutes. Take a minute and a half or two to wrap up whatever you like to say.
Well, how's this?
Whatever you
We are running a collaboration with East Boston Neighborhood Health Center. They actually gave us permission to use the old Matola post on Gaffarello
I thought did they
Street.
tear it down?
No, the location, the building's still there. But we reached out. We're going to be having a flag burning ceremony on September 9th at the old Matola post off of Revere Street, Gaffarello Way. Gaffarello Street, sorry.
That's
It's a
okay.
tough one to pronounce. But that's going to be from 10:30 to 12:30. The Revere Fire Department and Revere Police will be on site to make sure everything goes smooth. We're also going to have the Cub Scouts, Eagle Scouts, the Girl Scouts involved. We're actually trying to reach out to the JROTC and any veterans that would like to come down and
Can they bring their own
join.
flags down there too?
Anyone, you have flags you need to distribute and get rid of the right way, bring them down, and we'll honorably,
Great. So it'll be September the 9th at the Matola Post.
September the 9th at the old Matola Post. Yes,
Right.
sir.
Okay, Mark, I want to say thank you for taking the time to come on.
Morris, it's always a pleasure,
Okay.
and thank you for having me.
No, and it's good to give the people out there the veterans news. And before we
Absolutely.
close, I want to say God bless you for your service. Thank you for your service. God bless the people of Revere. God bless our military and all our troops in the military and those that are not in the military now. But most of all, God bless the United States of America, and thank you.
Thank you.